go.
So my parents came from completely different places and lives. My dad was born in the very rural middle California, which is the breadbasket. He was surrounded by fields, and most people there were uneducated, and they would have their own farmland, and they would, feed the entire country. While my mom came from a very urban Philadelphia, where the streets were very small and everybody knew each other because the East Coast has a very loud populace, so you could hear each other from apartment to apartment. So my mom's father was more or less not the greatest dad, so they had to move a lot because he would send my mom to go to grocery stores with basically blank checks to get groceries, and then they would bounce and they'd get on the checklist where they couldn't go there anymore. So they eventually came to California because they couldn't afford to keep living in the East Coast, and my mom decided she wanted to not be living that life anymore, and she didn't run away from home, but she couldn't tell her dad where she was because he would try to find her. She eventually went to Loyola Marymount to study to become a teacher, and my father, who was a math major at UC San Diego, he needed to take summer classes, and it was much cheaper to go to Loyola Marymount for summer classes than to stay in the UC because San Diego's expensive. So even though they were completely different majors, math and teaching, they eventually met each other. And my mom noticed my dad because he was the perfect child, the perfect student. He's very quiet, very reserved, and he always does his work on time. And my mom more or less was a cheerleader, very loud, and very outgoing. So I guess my father's quietness intrigued her, and it made the relationship work because she would do all the talking and he would do all the listening. So that was very helpful to lessen arguments or not have them happen at all. And my brother and I's birth was pretty smooth. We didn't really have any horrible complications, except that I apparently, during ultrasounds, wouldn't move, and they were worried about me, so they had to keep shocking my mother to wake me up, and all I wanted to do was sleep. So every time she went to the doctor, apparently I'm just as hard to get up as I was when she was pregnant with me as I am now. Thankfully, she doesn't shock me anymore, but that's it.
All right, good job. Thanks.